All right, welcome back to the Complete Web Dev series. In this chapter, we are building a login registration system using procedural PHP. We're going to, in this video, set up our virtual email server so that we can send and check our emails from our application. And this is super annoying, and you only have to do this because it's a local server. With Examp, you can set it up to send it through your Gmail account and all kinds of things. There's things out there, but I wanted to try something a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit weird to follow along, but just make sure you do each step. And I'm going to be doing this on Linux, so it may be a little bit different on Windows and Mac. But I'm going to show you the documentation that I use to set this up. So it should be pretty straightforward for the other systems. So go ahead and go to github.com/mailhog/mailhog with a capital M and H. Once you're here, you can see that there's basically some MailHog stuff here, and it has installation procedures for Mac OS, Linux. You can use it with Docker. I don't know if this works on Windows actually. But at any rate, I guess you could use Docker if you wanted, but you could also this might just work on Windows, but you might have to look up alternatives if you're on Windows. It's not 100% necessary to get these emails working, by the way. You don't have to do this process, but I want to show you how to make this work on your local machine, and then the functions that we use in our application, once you move this to a live server, should work, okay? So let's get started here. First thing that we're going to do is go ahead and follow these instructions. Now, first I want to make sure that my local server is up and running. So I'm here in terminal, so I'm going to hit clear. And I want first make sure that you have Vim installed. So do sudo apt-get install Vim. For me, I already have it. But it'll tell me that I'm already at the newest version. There's some other stuff here saying I can get rid of. So I'm gonna hit clear again. So if you have Vim installed, you're good to go. The next thing we want to do is we want to install Go. And Go is a language, I think it was created by Google. It's another way, but this software we're using was written in Go. So in order to run it on our machine, we have to install it. So we'll say sudo apt-get install golang-go. Mine says that I'm already at the newest version, but yours will install. It might ask you for a prompt to just hit Y and enter. You know what? While I'm sitting here, I'm just gonna do sudo apt auto remove to get rid of this crap, so we don't have to look at all this. And it looks like that's going to take longer than I expected. Sorry about that. Hopefully it starts buzzing along here. But again, I'm not going to pause the video. You're just going to watch. We're going to talk while you watch this happen. Sorry my voice is so raspy. I've been outside all week working, and it's been raining. And my throat is quite scratchy. I don't have the coof though. Don't worry about that. I'm a little bit prideful, I guess, about COVID. Not at all concerned about getting COVID, mainly because I don't really have any other health issues. And I also don't believe that if I did get it, it would be an issue for me. With my age and everything, it's very low chance of it actually causing any sort of issues for me. Obviously, if I got it, I would stay away from other people until I healed up, but I'm not one of these people, and I'm not trying to cut you down if you are, but I'm not one of these people scared to death of COVID. I'm gonna live my life And if the good Lord wants to take me, if it's my time to go, I'm going to go, whether it's because of COVID or a car accident or something. I'm not going to keep living. So I would encourage you guys, just live your lives, man. Don't get too hung up on this COVID crap. We're destroying our world over it, and ultimately you're either going to live or you're going to die. But I would rather continue trying to live. You can take precautions and be safe. I'm fine with that. But just don't. I have some friends that have just completely shut down. I mean, to the point of like leaving boyfriends and girlfriends because they can't leave their houses and stuff. And it's just blowing my mind, guys. I don't know. But anyway, here we go. What we're going to do next is, so we've installed Golang. We need to get the software, the MailHog software, and so Go gives us the ability to do this. So we can actually just type go get space github.com/mailhog/mailhog with a capital M and H, and this will actually download software. No news is good news there, so it did work. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to get another thing called MailHog, and then it's called MH send mail. No news again is good news. The next thing that we want to do is start up our MailHog server. So what we're going to do here is we are in our home directory. So if I ls here, there should be a Go directory in here. So if I cd go and hit ls, you can see that now we have a binary and a source directories. But anyways, I'm just going to go hit cd again to get back here to home. And what we're going to do is we're just going to type ~go/mailhog. What did I do wrong? I did something wrong here. cd go MailHog. Dang it. Let's see what they say to do here. Oh, it's capital M and H. So that's what I did wrong. You can just type in ~go/mailhog, and my gosh. Oh, it's binary. So you can just look in this documentation and copy it. I am just screwing up like crazy right now. Excuse my ignorance. There we go. That's going to be it. Good. What you should get here is it will tell you that it is binding the address on port. Well, actually, it's going to bind 000, which is everything. So every SMPTE or every mail traffic that goes through is going to get captured, and it's going to send it to this port 1025. So it binds that. So then we can actually visit the interface. It tells us it's going to send it on and receive it on port 1025, but we can actually see the mail server on 8025. So let's go to our browser now and open up a new tab here, and you can actually just type localhost, and then you can do a colon and do 8025. And once you've done that, it gives you a nice little inbox. And all of our mail that we send from our application, once we're done setting this up, will actually go here no matter who we send it to. So this will capture all the email going out of our system and plug it into here. Okay, that's what we want to do. But we have to do a few more steps to make this work with Examp. So we got our MailHog server up and running. So what you'll need to run and you can see that it has captured my terminal. So if I hit Control C here, that will kill that. So in order to run this every time you want to fire this up to use it, you're going to have to type in the tilde /go/binary /mailhog, and it will pull that back up. And now if I go to the localhost port 8025, you will see that it is running in there. All right, so let's go ahead, and I'm going to kill that process for now. We'll open that back up in a little while, because now what we need to do is we need to tell Examp to send email on that port, okay? And so what we're going to do now is, you know how we installed Vim? So let me hit clear here. I'm just going to CD back to the home directory just so we have a good starting point here. And so what we want to be able to do is we're going to type sudo vim. So that's going to open. Now Vim is a text editor that runs solely in terminal. And what we want to do is open the file that's inside of our examp install. Okay. So what we're going to do here is we're going to say sudo vim /opt/lamp, which is where I've installed our examp install, but instead of doing /examp, we're going to say /etc/php.ini. Okay, and then we're going to hit enter, and now it pulls up Vim, which is it is our text editor here. And what we're going to do inside of here is we're going to scroll down. So go ahead and scroll down from the top until you get to a section where it talks about setting your SMTP. So just keep scrolling down here. And right here you can see the mail function. And what we're going to do here is you can't use your mouse. So just use your cursor and get it on the line where it says SMTP, and you're going to hit I. Just I on your keyboard, and that will put you into insert mode, and now you can type in here. And so your SMTP will likely be something else, but change your SMTP settings to 127.0.0.1. And then go down a few lines, and if it's commented out with a semicolon, just go ahead and remove that and do SMTP port and set that equal to 1025, because that's what MailHog is going to be listening on. So we want our examp install to send mail on that port 1025, and it's going to send it to 127.0.0.1. The next thing we need to do, we need to set this send mail path right here. Now this is probably commented out for you, so go ahead and remove the semicolon beforehand, and the send mail path, set it to /opt/lamp /sbin /mh send mail. Okay. Once you've done that, we're going to hit escape to get out of insert mode, and then we're going to hold down the shift key and type Z twice. So that's Z or Z, type Z twice, and that will save and close the php.ini file. The next thing that we need to do, we need to actually, so let me show you this real quick. I'm going to CD into Go, and I'm going to CD into bin, and then inside that bin directory we had mh send mail. Okay, but we need to move that mh send mail, we need to move that into our examp file to actually use it, because remember in our php.ini file we told it to use that. And so there's a command we can use in our terminal to copy that. So we're going to do sudo space, and then we're going to say cp for copy, and we're going to copy from the tilde, which is our home directory, /go /bin /mh send mail, and then we'll do a space, and so this is the copy. It's going to say copy from. We do a space, and the next path will be where it's copying it to. So we're going to copy it to opt lamp /sbin /. So that will move its mh_sendMail. It will copy that file into the sbin in our lamp. Now that directory is where we told the php.ini is going to use that mh_sendMail to execute that. So I'm gonna hit enter. No news is good news there. So if I actually sudo into opt lamp sbin, cd into opt lamp sbin and hit ls, you can see that I do have a script in here called mh_sendMail. Okay, so mh_sendMail. The next thing that we need to do and to make all of this work is we need to reset our server. So go ahead and type sudo opt lamp examp and then space restart. And this should restart your servers. So it shuts them all down and then restarts them. If they restart, we should be all good to go. All right, the next thing that I'm going to do here is, let me send my reference over here. We've restarted our server, so now let's actually make let's just test it out. Okay, so in the functions.php directory, we're going to create a function that can send an email. So down here at the bottom here, go ahead and create a new function, and we're going to create a function called send_mail. And this is going to take 3 parameters. It's going to take a to, a subject, and a message. So we'll open and close our curly braces. So we're going to send this a to, which is the email it's sending to, the email address we're sending the email to, a subject line, and then the body of the email. The first thing we need to do is we need to set up some headers. So we're going to set headers equal to, and you're going to have to type this exactly like I'm typing it. So just follow along. Okay, so that creates the first, it tells it the MIME version is 1.0. And then we're going to do headers, and make sure you do a dot equals to concatenate onto it. We're going to say content with a capital C dash type, capital T, colon, text / HTML, semicolon, and then char set is equal to UTF-8. And then we are going to do a \r\n, and that creates a new line. And we'll do one more headers here, dot equals, and this is going to be our from address. So it's capital F from, colon, space, and then inside of, you're going to do a less than sign, and then I'm just going to do curtis@freeskills.com. Do a greater than sign, and then we're going to do another \r\n. These have to be in double quotes, by the way. All right, so then we've got our header set up. So now we're going to use the built-in PHP function called mail, and this is going to work on live, and it will work with our local machine if we have MailHog up and running. So we're going to say mail, and we're going to pass in our to. We're going to pass in our subject, then we're going to pass in our message, and then our fourth one will be our headers. And then what we're going to do is return those results. Headers with an S. Okay, so go ahead and take a look at that. This is going to be our sendMail function. So now we can, inside of our register function, you know what I'm going to do before we do anything, let's just at the very top of the page here. After this include, let's test this out. So let's do send mail, and remember we're going to pass in a couple things. So the first thing we're going to send it to is we'll do Parham Curtis at mailinator.com, do a comma, and then we'll do another thing here. This is going to be our subject. So does it work? Question mark. And then the last thing will be our message, and we'll say yes, it does. We'll save that, and now if we go to our browser and go ahead and go to our register page and hit enter, it should run that function. But crap, you know what? I don't have my mail server up and running, so I'm gonna go to my terminal and hit Control-Shift-T to open a new tab. And here I'm just gonna type the let me make this a little bigger here so you can see it. I'm gonna type the ~go/ben/mailhog so that it brings up my server. It should tell me that's running on port 1025. So now let me refresh this page here. And now if we go to MailHog and refresh, we have a new email that popped up here, and it's from Curtis@freeskills.com. It was sent to parhamcurtis@mailinator.com, and the subject says, does it work? And if I click on it, it opens up the text here, and it says, yes, it does. Now, if you look at the source here, you should see our headers with MIME version 1.0. Content type, we can click on the show headers here. So MIME version 1.0, let's see, receive subject, where is our content type? Let me go back and try something here in the headers. Let's just pull this out. I don't know why this would matter, but it may not just be showing them, like we shouldn't really have to do this. I'm going to refresh here to send more emails. I'm going to go back to the MailHog thing, and I'm going to hit back to my inbox and hit refresh. I have some more emails, so I'm going to go ahead and click this. I'm going to click show headers. I think there might be a bug with MailHog right now with the content type because the text HTML stuff isn't going to work either, and I'm not sure why. But anyways, don't worry too much about that. This is what we want, and it did send the email to here. So I'm going to go ahead now and let's just delete all messages. And what we want to do is actually set up our verification email to send in our register file. So I'm going to create a new function here, and we're going to call this send varicode. And then we'll pass in an email address for that. And then what we're going to do here is go ahead and set success to false at the top. And then we're going to set up an SQL query here. And what we want to do is get the user by the email address. So we're going to say select star from users where email is equal to question mark. Okay, and then we'll do our bind, and we're going to pass in the email into that. And then we'll go ahead and type result equals, we're going to run our query function, and we're going to pass in our SQL statement and our binds. And then we'll say user is equal to MySqli fetch associative array, and we'll pass in our result. Then what we want to do is we want to say, hey, if there is a user, so put that in an if statement. If it does find a user by this email address that we're passing in, then we want to send the email. So let's set up a code here, and we're going to say varicode is equal to, and we're just going to use a built-in PHP function called MD5, which is an old hashing thing. Not a big deal, but do MD5, and then inside of that just pass in time. Okay, so once we've done that, what we want to do is we want to, ultimately what we're trying to do, guys, is if you go to the PHP MyAdmin, see this varicode column that we created? We want to create a unique hash right here that we can send an email, and then we can verify that their email address exists by them clicking on a link. Okay, so that's what this varicode is going to be. So we need to add that to the user row. So now what we can do is create an SQL query, and we can use our update thing. So we want to update our users, and we want to set varicode equal to, and we're going to use a question mark here, and we have to say where ID is equal to question mark. All right, and then we can say result, dang it, stupid caps lock, result is equal to query, and we're going to pass our SQL, and then for our second parameter here, I'm just going to do this in line, we're going to add an array, and we're going to put two elements in that array. The first element is going to be the varicode, because that's where the first question mark is. The next one is going to be the ID. So then we can say user, and then it's an array. So we're going to say user, and then open and close some square braces, and then inside of that, we're going to tell it that the index is an associative array. We're going to tell it that the index is ID. Now the reason that user is an associative array is because we use this MySql fetch assoc. That's short for associative array. So it's going to find that in our database and return that as an associative array. So then we can use it by saying user, and then the column name is going to be the key of that index array. It's going to be the key of that associative array, rather, excuse me. All right, so now that's going to be either true or false. So now if that's true, so that will save the user's data, the varicode there. What we're going to say is if result, then what we want to do here is we're going to get a thing called first name, and first name is going to be equal to user, and then we're going to search our first underscore name, and that comes from the column in the database. So the user, so we're going to set that equal to first name. The next thing we'll do is set up our subject. So now we're building out our email, and we're going to say please verify your account. All right, the next thing we'll do is we're going to add a message, and the message here, we're going to put some HTML in here. So go ahead and do an h3 tag, and we're going to, inside of that, since we're using double quotes, we can use a string literal. So we're going to say fname, and then comma, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to close those h3 tags. So this is going to put the user's first name in the email with a comma, and since that's block level, it'll go down to the next line, and then we'll add a p tag. I'll go ahead and close that now so I don't forget to. Go inside of that, and we're going to type thank you for registering period, and we'll say please verify your account by clicking, and then what we're going to do here is do a space. I'm going to go down another line here, and we're going to put an a tag here with an href equals, and we're going to do a backslash double quote so that it doesn't come out of our quotes here. It's going to ignore that basically, and we're going to type in http / localhost /login /verify.php question mark varicode is equal to, and then we'll use our string literal with our varicode right here. And then we're going to do a backslash double quote to end that href. And then we're going to say target equals backslash double quote $_ and then we'll do backslash double quote again, and then we're going to close our a tag and like this, and then inside of there we're going to type here, and then after that we'll say put a period right there. All right, so that should be it. This will send an email that says, "Hi Curtis, thank you for registering. Please verify your account by clicking," and then it'll have a link, and they can click that link, and because of this target blank, it'll open it in a new page, and it'll open it to our varicode .php or our verify.php file, and it's going to pass as a get parameter our varicode along. So we're going to be able to find that user by that varicode, and that will work just fine. So let's go ahead and save that now. And what we can do is use this send varicode function in our register.php file. So up here at the top where we added the send mail, let's go ahead and get rid of that because we were just testing that. And down here inside of our where it adds it inserts it into the database, we have this if result thing here. And so what I want to do at the top of that is we want to send that varicode. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new varicode sent variable, varicode sent, and we set that equal to our function, which is send varicode, and we're just going to pass in our email directly to that. Okay. The one thing I forgot to do is in the functions, we didn't return this. So, actually, I kind of forgot to do a lot. We have to actually send the email now, which I forgot to do. So we're going to say send mail. You know what? Actually, let's create a success. And we're going to say send mail, and we're going to pass in our email, our subject, and our message that we just typed out. And then at the very bottom here, right before this closing, we're going to say return success. Now we set that as false in the beginning, so if it doesn't make it into all of this, then it's going to be false. But if this sendMail function returns true or false, then this should be true if this works. Okay, so then in our register.php, we can actually, this is going to end up being true or false. So we can actually just only redirect if that's true. So we'll say if varicode sent, open and close our brackets, and I want to move this redirect inside of that. Indent that correctly. All right, so that should actually finish up our register thing. So let's test that now. I'm going to go to my database and just delete my rows here. And now my table's empty, and I'm going to go ahead and fill this out. So Curtis Parham Curtis at mailinator.com, password, and we'll hit register. Crap, something didn't work. All right, sweet. That's a good thing. We get to debug this. So send varicode. Let me just kind of read through this. First, let's see if it inserted in the database, and it did. So we know that we're getting that far. So let's go ahead here and dump, and let's just start checking stuff. So we're going to start at the top here and make sure we're getting a user. So I'm going to save that. We'll delete this user from the database. We'll go back here and just hit refresh and resubmit. And we do see that we are getting a user. So we know it's making it that far in the code. So then it should go in here and result query update user set varcode equals word ID is equal to. Okay, so let's dump and die our result here and see if this is true. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the phpMyAdmin. We're gonna delete our row, go back to our form and refresh. Yes, we want to resubmit that. And this is false. Okay, that's interesting. So that's what the problem is. For some reason, this query right here to update the user is not passing. So let's go ahead and look in the database and see what could be going on there. Well, it is actually setting the varcode here. So it's saving our MD5. So why would this be returning a result of our query is false? I think I know why. Yes. So we forgot to pass in right here in our result when no, that's the wrong one. Let's see. Yes, right here. This result here, we're just updating. So what we need to do is pass in our third parameter. This needs to be set to true, so it's execute only. So let's save that now and see if that fixes it. Let's go back. I'm going to delete this row from the database. Let's go back here and refresh. Hit continue. Now you can see that it is true. So that does solve our issue. So now if I get rid of this dump and die, hopefully we won't have any more bugs. But you can kind of see the debug process there. So let me go back here and let's browse this and delete that row. And I'm going to refresh my form submission. And it did forward us to login.php, which is probably good. So let's go back to MailHog and refresh. And boom, we got our email and it says, please verify your account. If I click on that, this right here is, for some reason, this is not, it's only giving us plain text. And that's fine. It's because MailHog right now is broken with their HTML headers. I don't know what's going on there. I could be sending the headers wrong, but it's just going to show the HTML. No big deal. This will, in a live server, this will work and it will show up as HTML. But we do have our href here. So I'm going to right click on that and I'm going to click open in a new window. Oops, I did not want to do that actually. I'm going to right click and say open in a new tab. And right now it takes us to the verify.php, which we haven't created yet, so we got a 404, but you can see that it did add that varcode as a get parameter right here in the URL. So we're going to be able to take this and find that, we're going to be able to find the user by that, and then what we're going to do then is, once we find that user in the next video, we're going to set this verified to true. Right now it starts out as false, and we will know that this email address then is correct because it will send it an email to the email that they registered with, and then they're going to have to click a link in that email which tells us that it was a valid email and they had access to it. So that's what we want to do, because then later we're going to stop them from logging in if they haven't verified yet, and we're also going to when they reset the password, we can have confidence that we can send that to an email address that they've already verified. All right, so I hope you're liking this series so far. I know this video was a little tough with setting up that email and stuff like that, so hopefully that went smooth for you. If not, you're going to have to look at this MailHog documentation and try to get it going. If you're on Windows and you can't get this going with Windows, you might have to look up, just do a Google search for set up examp email, or you can do configure. And most of the stuff you find here is going to be for Windows anyway. So I showed you how to do it on Linux, and there's instructions for Mac. But I think you can just follow along exactly with Mac as well with what I did. But basically, you're going to find go to something like this, configure examp to send mail from localhost, and you should get some instructions on basically you're going to set up your Gmail account, and it'll send it out from your Gmail account to the actual, so it'll be a working email. Right now, this is not actually a working email with localhost. This is like a simulation basically by setting up a local mail server, and then we have this nice interface to kind of see what those emails are going to look like. All right, so I hope that makes sense. Now, if you can't get email up and running, what are we going to do? Well, you can manually you can still set it up to send the email, but if it doesn't send it anywhere, then what you can do is you can get this varicode from the database right here, and you can just manually go to this. So it's not going to stop us from finishing the series up, but if you can get it working, go ahead and spend a little time doing that, because it'll make your lives a lot easier to actually see the emails. Plus, you'll kind of know what it's going to do on a live server. So I apologize, it's a little bit weird. We could set up some sort of API to actually send emails, but the problem with that is it's a little bit more advanced than where we're at right now in the process of learning programming. So I didn't want to bog us down with try to send API requests and things like that. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please comment, like, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video, and we will finally finish up this verification process. And then let's see. I think it'll be a pretty short video, the next one. So hopefully you can recover from these last couple long ones. But yeah, we'll do the verify.php file, which will do the verification process. It'll be super quick and simple. And then after that, we're going to do the login screen. All right, so see you guys there. I hope you're enjoying this. Peace out.